Scientists recently detected something moving through space that should not exist. Hundreds of galaxy clusters, each containing trillions of stars, all drifting in the exact same direction. Not because of anything inside our universe, because something outside of it is pulling them. Something we cannot see, something we cannot reach, something that by every law of physics we know should not be there. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what it is and why it changes everything we thought we knew about reality. But first, a quick question. Where in the world are you watching this right now? Drop your city in the comments. I want to see how far this reaches. Let us go back to the beginning. Not the beginning of you or of Earth or even of the solar system. The beginning of everything. 13.8 billion years ago, all of space, all of time, all of energy, and all of matter exploded into existence from a single point smaller than anything you can imagine. That event was not an explosion inside space. It was the creation of space itself. And ever since that moment, space has been doing something strange. It has been stretching. Not like a rubber band snapping back, like a fabric being pulled from every single point at once, continuously, without stopping, getting faster every second. Right now, as you watch this, the universe is expanding. And here is where your brain is going to resist what I'm about to tell you. When scientists say the universe is expanding, your mind probably imagines a balloon inflating inside a room. The balloon gets bigger, but the room around it stays the same. That picture is wrong. There is no room. There is no outside. The balloon is all there is, and it is creating the space it expands into as it grows. That is not a metaphor. That is the most accurate description modern physics has. The edge of what we can observe sits about 46 billion light years away in every direction. We call this the observable universe. But here's the uncomfortable truth. We are not seeing the whole universe. We are sitting inside a bubble of light, and everything beyond the walls of that bubble is completely invisible to us. Not because it does not exist, because the light from out there has not had time to reach us yet. We are not at the center of the universe. We are at the center of our own ignorance. Now things get strange. If our observable universe is the size of a golf ball, current models suggest the full universe, the part that actually exists, whether we can see it or not, could be the size of the Earth by comparison. Some models go further. The full universe may be 10 to the power of 23 times larger than what we observe. That is a number with 23 zeros. More zeros than there are atoms in your body. And filling all of that space is matter, energy, galaxies, stars, and probably things we do not have names for yet. But let us push further. What about beyond even that? What lies outside the full universe? Standard cosmology gives an answer that sounds like a trick. The question has no meaning. Space and time were born at the Big Bang. Asking what is outside the universe is like asking what is north of the North Pole. You can keep walking north forever, but once you reach the pole, the direction simply ceases to exist. It does not hit a wall. The concept dissolves. And most physicists accept this answer. But a small group of theorists noticed something uncomfortable hiding inside the mathematics of the Big Bang. In the 1980s, a theory called cosmic inflation proposed that in the very first fraction of a second of existence, the universe expanded at a rate many times faster than light. This solved several mysteries at once. Why does the universe look the same in every direction? Why is its geometry almost perfectly flat? Inflation answered all of it beautifully. But then physicist André Linde ran the numbers and discovered a side effect nobody had planned for. Once inflation starts, it cannot stop everywhere at the same time. In some regions, it slows down and a universe like ours forms, with galaxies and planets and people asking questions at night. But in other regions, inflation keeps going. It boils, it bubbles, it creates new pockets of space, one after another, endlessly, each one becoming its own separate universe with its own physical laws, its own particles, its own rules for how reality works. This is called eternal inflation, and it means our universe is not alone. It is one bubble in an infinite ocean of bubbles, each bubble a universe, each universe a world complete in itself, and most of them completely unreachable from here. In some of those universes, gravity is 100 times stronger. Anything that forms collapses immediately into black holes. In others, there are no stable atoms. In others, the constants are tuned even more precisely than ours, and civilizations have had billions of years more than us to evolve. We happen to live in the bubble where the settings allowed atoms to form, stars to ignite, and brains to develop that could wonder about all the other bubbles. That is not an accident, it is a filter. You can only ask the question if the answer was already yes. Now we come back to those galaxy clusters, the ones that should not be moving. In 2008, NASA astrophysicists tracked hundreds of galaxy clusters and found them all drifting in the same direction at roughly 1,000 kilometers per second. They searched our entire observable universe for something massive enough to pull them that way. Nothing. Absolutely nothing inside our known cosmos has the gravitational strength to cause this. So what is pulling them? The leading hypothesis is called dark flow, and the answer it points to is terrifying in the best possible way. Something beyond our observable horizon, something we cannot see, cannot measure, and cannot reach with any instrument we have or will ever build, may be massive enough to tug on everything we can see, like an invisible hand reaching through the wall of our bubble and dragging our galaxies toward it. If dark flow is real, it is the first direct evidence that our universe is not sealed, that something exists outside it. Not empty space, not nothing, something with mass, something enormous, something structural. And here is the part that will stay with you tonight. Future civilizations will not know any of this. As the universe expands and dark energy pushes galaxies further apart, every galaxy we see today will eventually cross beyond our horizon. In 1 trillion years, any beings alive will look out at a completely dark sky, see only their own galaxy, and conclude they live in a small, isolated, static universe surrounded by nothing. They will be completely wrong, and they will have no way to know it. Physicists Lawrence Krauss and Robert Scherer published a paper showing that those future beings will not just lack the data, they will lack the ability to know the data ever existed. Their physics will be internally consistent, logically sound, and fundamentally incorrect. So let me ask you something. What if we are already in that position? What if the most critical information about the true nature of reality already slipped past our horizon before we had the instruments to catch it? What if we are the ones building a perfect picture from incomplete pieces, fully convinced we are seeing the whole thing? We do not know what is beyond the universe. We do not know if the multiverse is real. We do not know if dark flow points to a neighboring bubble or something stranger. But we are the first generation in history with instruments precise enough to look for the bruise that a neighboring universe might have left on our sky. And if we find it, that circular mark in the ancient light of the cosmos will be the most important thing humanity has ever seen. Not a message from an alien civilization, a message from another reality, from outside everything. So here is the question I want you to sit with. Do you think we will ever find the answer? Or is the universe a locked safe with no keyhole? Tell me in the comments. And if this video made your brain feel slightly broken in a good way, you know what to do.